Guys, what's going on? Welcome back to Warzone Weekly. All of your information for your Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, Warzone, you name it, CDL, we're here. Big, big patch this week. Warzone 1 reload, Warzone 2 Season 1 Reloaded is out as of today, which is Wednesday, the 14th of December. So there is a huge amount of info on this. Global, so basically over all formats. You've got the Warzone Cup, which is your Rocket League style game mode. That's in, which they mentioned. I don't know why they mentioned that like 3 times in this patch. A bit weird, but it's
really trying to plug that Rocket League.
They really want you to play it. I don't know why, but they really want you to play it. So double XP weekend. If you play on PlayStation, you get your player double XP 1 day early, which is as of today. All platforms get it all together the day after, which is the 15th, and then double weapon XP everybody gets from the 15th to the 19th. So at least they're making the weapon XP fairer. You've got Shipment. Shipment is back, and I believe, am I right in saying the Shipment 24/7 game mode's available now as well?
Yeah, I went on just after the update, and there was a 24/7 shipment. So
awesome.
Grind your guns, and you've got double XP coming up. So get all your guns.
Double XP as of tomorrow till the 19th, and they're giving you shipment 24/7 at the same time.
Yeah, like if you've got a gun you want to level up or a camo you want, now's your chance.
Yeah, definitely get on that. And that. So then on shipment there's like a little Christmas makeover, which is December 21st to January 4th. That's just a little Christmassy themed version. You've got the new raid, which we covered in our last video. So if you're interested in the raid, go check that out as well. Same as the Warzone Cup. It's just Rocket League basically. So we covered that as well. You got some quality of life changes. They've changed the XP tokens, so finally you can see how long's left on them. You're like, oh, is it? You've got to put a time on. You're like, oh, I've used an hour XP token. Has it been an hour? Am I wasting it by using another one now? But not anymore. That's all sorted now. You can now access them through the start menu as well for your pools menu. You can now use your double XP, which is very, very useful. Loads of other quality of life, just sort of general things, operator bios, stuff like that. So not too much going on there. Your social and friends lists, there's just a couple of user interface updates for that, making quality of life a bit easier to navigate. Nothing huge on those. And then we get to weapon balancing, which is obviously the biggest part, basically, is the weapon balancing. Akimbo pistols. All of your Akimbo pistols receive a damage reduction against armoured opponents. So in Warzone, your armoured opponents, it's not going to be killing them as quick. But if you are using them in multiplayer, you'll be getting the same TTK still, because they are non-armoured opponents, which I think is fair. I think that'll drive everyone back to SMGs on Warzone. Issue causing shotguns to constantly display broken armor or hit markers. Not something I've seen, but obviously it's being an issue. MX9, increased movement speed, ADS speed, and sprint to fire speed on the 32 round mag. Something very interesting to note about Warzone 2 patch notes, at least this set of patch notes, is that unlike Warzone 1, when you had your patch notes come out, you no longer get your numbers, don't get stats anymore. So if it says movement speed increased or damage increased or multiplier increased, we don't know what by anymore. So when you run through these and you see there's a couple in here that could actually be quite good, that could change the gun quite heavily. Just be aware that might be by 0.01% or half of a damage marker or something like that. So take that into consideration. But then obviously there's going to be guys like JGod, True Game Data, and a lot of others as well, who do actual in-game testing on these to really help you out on those. Cast off, what we've got? Oh, sorry, M13B. Blocking underbarrel launcher and shotgun on 7-inch Bruin BM20 barrel. Cast off 74U, a small reduction in close range damage. 3 hits to kill requires at least 1 chest hit. To be fair, I like that they've been a bit more specific with that.
Yeah.
So if they say at least 1 chest hit, it's going to mean either like multiple to the chest or including the head and nothing lower. But yeah, I like they've been a little bit more specific with that one. I'd still prefer the numbers, but 74 is a decent gun to be fair. I don't mind using that at all. Cast off 545. Terrible gun. Absolutely terrible. I actively avoid picking it up off the floor. It's that bad.
Yeah, it's not great.
It's an absolute tickle machine. Increase to muzzle velocity. Small decrease to hip spread. Increase close range damage. And increase to chest multiplier. Whether that's a lot or a little, we're going to be finding out. But at least it's been giving it a buff. It might actually be worth picking up off the floor now, maybe. VL47 SMG. Reduced hip fire spread, increased movement speed, and increased far damage. So that's a nice all-round buff for that, really. I don't think you can't go wrong with that. That's a nice little comfortable buff. Pistols, the revolver. On the compensator barrel, and then nothing, absolutely nothing. Don't bother with it. Still trash. And they've nerfed. It was only good akimbo, and they've nerfed that as well now. Don't bother. Trash. This one is interesting, however. The Desert Eagle, the .50 GS pistol, which is the Desert Eagle, reduced hip fire spread, but increased 1 hit headshot range, increased damage range, increased neck and upper shoulder location damage multipliers. So I'm assuming that's going to be a wider range that they've now accompanied into that hit area. You've got an increased bullet velocity, and you also have an increased damage range on SA Longshot 50 and the SA Tyrant 50 barrel. That's a seems like a big buff.
Yeah, that's a lot of things that
Like,
I don't know. That's quite a lot of
increased 1 hit headshot range. I know it's a Desert Eagle, but do we need that in a pistol? I'm not too sure. They've not actually increased the damage of the weapon though, which is good. If they increase the actual damage of the weapon, I think we could be in a bit of trouble with that. But overall, I don't see that being a crazy buff. But I think again, it's an all-round buff that could make it see its way into the game a little bit more. This is a big one. Shotguns are can no longer kill fully armored players in one shot. I know the was it the 890 shotgun, was it? Or the 800?
Yeah, it was the 800.
800 could one bang someone who was fully 3 plates and could just one bang them. And I'm glad that's been fixed. Because that was OP. It's hard with shotguns, right? They're either mad OP or there's no point in using them.
Yeah, I mean it's the same in Warzone 1. Like, you know, you had your R90 Dragon's Breath shotgun rounds.
Yep.
Dominated the game for a while up close. Like nothing come close. And then they nerfed it and it was like complete trash. The Gallo came in, absolutely dominated up to like 8 meters. They had to reduce it down to like 3.5 to make it like in line. And then
the Street Sweeper as well.
Yeah. That's like 100%. Like shotguns are either very mid and like or bad, or they just absolutely fry everything and dominate up close.
Yeah,
which you would expect them to do, but
really hard to balance them. Like you would expect them to dominate super close range, but it is really hard to balance them. Same as burst fire guns. They're either mad OP or awful. Really hard to balance them. Expedite shotgun added guard category. So you've got these 3 new guards on there now that you can use on the Expedite 12. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. Riot Shield, reduced movement speed, reduced melee damage to a 3-hit kill. Shield movement animation improved. Longer switch time pulling out throwing knife when Riot Shield is equipped. To be fair, that was mad fast if you could do that when you've done that before.
I was about to say, I feel like they've been watching like Bobby Poff and they're like, you know, no shot nuke
Bobby Poff doing his no bullet nukes.
Yeah. I feel like they've been watching that
That
stream
was
and they were like, "Hang
was
on,
mad.
that's a bit OP." That so because that they started doing that and then that patch notes come out. That's a bit coincidental, really.
Yeah, just that throwing knife was just every time.
I don't like Riot Shield. I never like Riot Shield. I've ranted to you about Riot Shield so many times, but
Just a couple.
but if you now need to do gold Riot Shield and you now need a free hit melee kill,
Yeah,
that's not great. Like
it's gonna be
if you
tough.
want to get like Ryan, but yeah.
And then onto the launchers, the Joker. They were going out of bounds sometimes and improved thermal on the aiming. So nothing major on that, just a bit of quality of life. They've done loads of collision and health and damage buffs and nerfs on the vehicles. There's quite a few of them. So if you are interested in those, take a look at them. But basically, the improved vehicles, they don't take as much damage when you run into stuff now, etc., etc. That was a big thing with the quad bike and with the heavy helicopters and stuff like that. So those are all improved. This is kill streaks in multiplayer. What we're talking about here. Fixing issue with people were allowed to spawn basically inside a care package and causing immediate death. Bit of a bug on that one. Fixing issue preventing players from calling out the MGB while underwater. Juggernaut now correctly switched between their minigun and pistol when exiting and entering the water. This was quite amusing though. They fixed an issue where the Juggernaut sometimes died to a single throwing knife in tier 1. I'd love to single throwing knife a Juggernaut.
I'm about to say, could you imagine getting your a 15 kill streak or quite a decent score streak?
Yeah.
You finally get a Juggernaut suit and someone one bangs you with a little knife. Just flings a knife at you and you're dead.
Your 8-inch thick jug suit, and yeah.
Who would win, one huge Juggernaut or one knifey boy? Like what?
That was I wish I might actually look for that after, because that does sound quite funny. SAE fixing an issue preventing the explosions from doing any damage to neutral and enemy occupied vehicles. Fixing exploit that allows sentry guns to be placed under the map in certain locations. Out of bounds bugs are always welcome to be fixed. Portable radars can now be put on vehicles, so you can literally just be your own mobile UAV. But which I think it's good. That it makes sense, right? They're sticky. The little they go on things, like same as like suppression mines, right? They stick to everything, so there's no reason these shouldn't be the same.
I feel like that opens up like a bit of a, like, say you're playing, I think it more in probably trios, quads, but you can now, if one of you's got a portable radar, stick it on a car and you're like, I think there's guys in that building. One of you just goes over there and drives over with a portable radar in the car and then pings the building. And they're like, yeah, there's 3-4 guys in there. Like, and now you know where they are. It opens up some funny and cool ideas. So I think it's a cool idea.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. The range on it's not massive, so it's not like you're gonna be driving down the middle of the road and just pinging everyone around you. Yeah, it's still quite close range. So I'm interested in it, and I think that's a nice little quality of life upgrade for that. Radiation blockers have been improved now. Your user interface and things like that, which is always using DMZ. There's a bug with thermites. No longer. What they were doing is if you died and respawned, you would still just be stuck with a thermite. So no, that's fixed now. So if that happened to you, there you go. It won't happen again.
I feel like you'd know if that happened to you, because that must be really annoying.
I had a very similar thing happen on Rebirth Island, playing trios, and I got stuck with a thermite and died. 25 seconds later, I spawned back in. Although the thermite wasn't stuck to me anymore, the noise of the thermite was buried inside my head for the next 15 minutes of the game.
Which is very loud.
Yeah, I think I actually came like second in that. I think we came second in that game.
Yeah, we didn't do too bad considering you had like no audio.
I couldn't hear anything. It was doing me in. I couldn't hear any call outs or anything. It's awful. They've changed tuning. weapon tuning, which is interesting. So there's an issue before. If you've seen Jay God's and True Game Data's video, I know they both made a video on it. Like it wasn't like a straight line or a straight curve on your weapon tuning. So it'd be like the first part did like nothing, and then it'd do like loads, or it would do loads, and then tuning it more wouldn't do any more. And the same with the negatives. The negatives were like big negatives, and then or nothing. So it's a bit hit or miss. But they seem to have changed that into a smooth linear line now. So your weapon tuning is a bit more easier to judge via what the sliders are doing, which would be nice. I'm looking forward to implementing that in game and seeing what that's like. They've changed thermal optics a little bit. It just increased the range of identifications on the targets and the enemies showing as they're dead now. They've changed it on a few of them. Nothing too crazily interesting there. What we've got here, our weapon graphs. Nothing crazy game-changing stuff going on. The LA Thieves skins have received a slight nerf, thankfully. Like nobody wanted another skin you couldn't see in the game. Like we had the Rose skins, and nobody wanted those, apart from people who wanted to buy them. But even people who wanted to buy them didn't want to buy them. They just didn't want to have to play against them, so they bought them anyway. But yeah, so you've got these little red accents on the goggles now, and on the straps on the backpack, and on the gloves. And it looks like they've made them maybe like a little bit more grey.
Yeah.
On the jumpsuit now. So that'll be interesting to see in game, to see if it actually has made much of a difference, because the Rose skin they nerfed 4 times.
Still couldn't see it.
No, it was basically light grey in the end, and you still couldn't see it. So hopefully those red accents do make a difference. A couple of bug fixes with clients freezing and stuff like that. Audio issues. Fixing issue causing reward previews to not appear as intended when navigating the battle pass. So just little quality of life updates, really. 3D operator models in the store. Fixed Dolby Atmos data issue where some sounds were not panning to ceiling speakers. I've never known anybody who is playing in a full like Dolby Atmos surround sound situation on Call of Duty, with including ceiling speakers. If you have that set up, then I want to try it out because it sounds cool.
Let's say I feel like there's one guy reading this that he's like, finally they fixed
They've listened to my feedback. They've done it.
For the one guy out there who has Dolby Atmos with ceiling speakers, this one's for you.
And there you go. So if that's you, they fixed it for you. Well done. PC specific. Fixing issue related to the menus causing FPS drops in the firing range. Issue making controllers vibrate when the game wasn't even in the main window, and fixed night vision goggles prompt in the HUD. Nothing madly changing there. Multiplayer tier 1 fixing issue where the minimap was not always appearing or staying up when calling UAVs or advanced UAVs. Friendly AI will no longer set up suppression mines in the same team and invasion. There's a few map updates. We're not going to go through all of them. They're just exploits on the maps that have been fixed. So if you do need to know about those, just go and check all those out. A few spec ops, a few bug changes and updates for some of the modes on there. Nothing game breaking, just a few exploits again that have changed. The CDL Mosh Pit, game modes and maps are all listed right here. We'll just scroll through those quickly. If you're interested in those, just click pause and have a quick read on those. And then Warzone 2.0 specific, our playlists that are coming in as of today. Solos, max players in solos 150, no assimilation. Duos, max players 150, assimilation mode refill. Then got straight to quads, so there's no trios for this. Straight to quads, max player 152 with assimilation on refill again. Mini Royale is trios, max players 54, assimilation refill again. So your mini royale, if you're not familiar with it, and correct me if I'm wrong, is just a small part of Al Mazrah that is just effectively like a TDM. No, it's not a TDM. It is a BR, but with 54 people. Sorry, wrong mode.
Yeah,
That was
players.
They used to have another mode that was a TDM style on.
That was Clash, I think.
Clash, that was the one.
Yeah.
So it's just a small 54 person trios BR on a small part of Al Mazrah. I think that's quite cool. Actually,
there is still like gas and stuff, but the zones move really quickly.
Yeah,
loadouts come in quicker. It's like a sped up version. Like, so if you like BR and you're like, I wish this was faster, probably game mode for you if you haven't already played it from the previous game.
Yeah, you're basically playing trios, but on a third of the map. So yeah, a bit of a fun little game mode for trios. That Warzone Cup is trios, max player 6, got 2 teams of 3. DMZ is trios only, max players 60, because that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Sorry, I'm confusing myself in my own head. Max player 60 in that doesn't include AI on the map already. Assimilation is up to 6 players per squad, so you can assimilate another trio into your squad and go around as a team of 6 in DMZ if you wish. They said there's general lighting and shadows across all points of interest in Al Mazrah. The new Area 21 building on DMZ, we went through that in the last update as well, so if you want to hear more about that, check out the previous video for that one. Gameplay BR adjustments. Stronghold and Black Site AI increased number of active strongholds up to 5 from 3. I think this was definitely needed.
Yeah.
Because if you were on one part of the map and you just didn't have a stronghold, they would, even if you had a vehicle, you couldn't get to them before they'd been completed. So yeah, I definitely think there's more strongholds needed there. So I think that's a good thing there. AI combatants, who were pretty darn tough. If you
got some shots on them.
Yeah, like they weren't madly hard. Like you could gun them down easily. But if you turned a corner and there was 2 of them standing there and you just have a moment lapse of concentration, they will gun you down. Like they don't care. They shoot hard. Damage per bullet reduced by 26%. Number of units per site reduced by 50%, so there's 50% less AI, and they do 26% less damage. And then further reductions based on squad sizes. So if you're playing in duos, you'll still get less AI. If you're playing in quads, you'll see a little bit more AI, which I think is fair. You're raiding with 4 people, then there should be more for you to take on. Double time between waves. So when they're coming in the next helicopter wave of AI, that's doubled in time. Which I think that was quick before, to be fair. I think that was really quick. There's a couple of times I'll be taking out the last one and the next one would already be coming in. I was like,
you still got no plates in, you're reloading your gun. Yes.
Number of units per wave reduced by 30%, so it's 30% less turn up in the first place. AI combatants at black sites now have additional armor, and rewards and upgrade versions of the Stronghold UAV, which will sweep twice as far and about 30% faster. Oh wow, that's bad. That's mad.
I feel like this is to promote black sites a bit more, because I feel like the uptakes on black sites is not actually that high.
No, I think you do a stronghold, you get your loadout, and then I'm off hunting people. I'm not worried about
like
black site.
I can count on one hand the amount of times I've seen the alert come up in game that says black site completed by other players. We've never even done a black site. We've done a few strongholds now.
We've done a black site once. I stumbled across it once.
You are right.
Happened to have the key on me. I was like, oh, here we are. But yeah, UAV that sweeps twice as far and 30% faster. That's big.
So if you do a black site in a big like key zone, that's you're gravy. You can just sit there and be like, all right, if anyone comes near, we'll gun them. So cool idea.
Yeah, I'm all for it. DMZ, you're going to be able to get more cash. Container spawn rates. You've got changes to all of your DMZ spawning items. Increase to some, decrease to others, which is fair. Sometimes there's an abundance of some things and absolutely nothing of anything else. I think, to be fair, I think they could probably do with some more money in BR as well. I think that would be nice. XP tokens can now be activated from the main lobby menu in DMZ as well as Warzone. And then medium large backpacks. These are now allow for a third weapon slot, which they did in Warzone, but they didn't in DMZ. So that's been upgraded now to all match. And then equipment, bomb drones. So bomb drones were taken out of the game. So they're being brought back in. Players with 3 armor plates on the outer radius of the explosion will survive, but receive critical damage. Whereas before it was all a one shot, but they don't mention what that radius is.
No.
It could be 2 meters. It could be 5 meters. It could be 10 meters. That's going to be some trial and error to work out your ranges. Once you work it out, when you're flying your bomb drone in, if you put a live ping on your enemy and then work your way inside your radius, and then detonate, I think that'll be your best play there. Default loadouts have been updated for perk packages, and then you've got some quality of life stuff here. For DMZ, your out of bounds increased to 10 seconds. A lot of quality of life updates on that. There's nothing hugely game changing, but some interesting little changes that's going to help people out. This is a big one, I think. They really heavily promoted that the combat record was coming back, and now they've said, sorry guys, we don't think it's going to be very accurate, so we're not going to do it yet. A little bit annoying, because I think everyone was a bit excited about that, because it's going to come back. I mean you could run tournaments again and that sort of things, but not yet. So maybe season 2 we're going to see that. Hopefully we see it before season 2, but I'm kind of expecting it then. And then you've got a absolutely enormous list of bug fixes at the bottom. We're not going to go through them all here, but there is a huge amount, and I'm just having a quick scroll through, which you can see here, and they're all just quality of life changes, basically. Little bugs that were happening that they're getting fixed. I've honestly never seen so many of you.
No, I mean, I was kind of expecting at one point there was going to be like an absolute laundry list of bug fixes, because we said this in the last couple of videos that, like, I think the last video when there was like 2 things that they changed, and I was like, well, there's so many bugs. Like, we're running into bugs in multiplayer, in Warzone, in DMZ. Like, where are the bug fixes? And it looks like they've been saving them all up for this patch, which was like 26 gig for me, by the way. So I'm guessing this is a large reason why as well.
On your PC, that's 26 gig. On my Xbox, that was 15. Yeah. Obviously, we know PC had a few more bugs with crashing and dev errors and stuff like that. So I'm assuming it's more bugs, more patches designated for PC. But yeah, this is the biggest amount of patch notes I've ever seen. Hopefully, though, increasing everybody's quality of gameplay.
That's the thing. Like, to me, it kind of is a good thing that there's a lot of bug fixes, because that means they are identifying them, tracking them down, and able to fix them. I mean, hopefully, I scrolled through personally. Like, I'm not going to go through them all because there's a lot, obviously, but I scrolled through and I saw a couple that were like, "Oh, that happened to me. That's happened to you." I've seen that on streams, stuff like that. So there are some in there. I think it's worth having a look through and just looking through, because there was some stuff that it happened to me a couple of times that's annoying that they fixed. So it's positive that they're fixing a lot of bugs.
Yeah, for sure.
I hope that they sort of have this every update where there's like a lot of bug fixes, so that they are reducing them. They're never going to get them all, but
no, for sure. But they're working on them slowly. But yeah, I'm really happy to see this many bug fixes. It's the biggest I've ever seen. But for good reason, right? everyone's gameplay should now be improved, and if everyone's gameplay is improved, people are going to stay on the game more.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
yeah, I think everything in this patch is really good, really positive. And I'm looking forward to getting back in and seeing what all the changes actually mean.
Yeah.
But for now, guys, that's it from us. Thank you for sticking with us. It's a big patch, and we skimmed through all of the important parts, basically. So yeah, thanks for that, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next video. We'll see you later on.